So here on the channel, we specialize in Skyblock. Now in Skyblock, there's a lot of weapons, but I managed to get myself the best weapon in only a week. If I change my GUI skill and I go back to the sword, you can see it's so powerful. We've got plus 220 damage, a plus 125 strength, plus 120% crit damage, higher chance, literally every enchant. There's even some sharpness 6 in there. And obviously we have the item ability, which actually got buffed in this recent update. So basically in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I got this sword, how you can get it really easily, and then I'm going to show you guys what it can actually do, because a lot of people did videos showcasing it, which is cool and all, but it was actually kind of nerfed. Basically all the enchantments were changed. I'm going to show you how to get it as best as you possibly can, so you can deal about 10k per hit. But yeah, let's get right into it. So currently, if you want to get the Pigman sword, it's going to take you 1.2 million pork chop to craft, but you don't actually have to get all those pork chops. Now, before I go into that, the first thing you want to basically build is a mob grinder. So in my opinion, this is currently the best design. It's the most compact design. We've tried like drowning designs over there. It doesn't really work. Basically how it works is you get a 5x5 area here on both sides. They're going to all flow into the middle and they're going to all fall into there right there. The person who made this design is Primitive Sponge, so shout out to him, also mass kill. As you can see in the clip right here, there's a stack of minions. The science will make it so once they get a certain height, the minions will still actually work. Something you can also do is you place these little fences here. The pigs all flow into you, you just hit them like this. What's going to happen is they're all going to fall down here, they're going to hit the hoppers, and then there's just a little chest room right there. Something you can also do is you set up a little teleport pad, it goes down to there. All the pork chops are going to be in these chests right here, and then you can just have another chest for the actual pork chops to go in. The good thing about this design is that it's actually a lot more compact. Like, there's a broken version right there, but this is extremely big compared to what this is. Something I also want to note on is when it comes to AFKing overnight. From what I know, AFKing overnight is totally allowed. I've never seen anyone have issues with it. The good thing about having an AFK pool right here is that the pigs are always going to be running. What's also good about this design is that if you just have like a normal pig minion in like a fenced area, one of the actions they have to do is to actually kill the pigs. So instead of it being like spawned pig, kill pig, you know what I mean? It's only spawning the pigs because they die from this drop here. Something to also note is that you can't have them just like go into one area and hit them all at once. The pigs are actually going to realize that, oh, I don't know where my pigs are, I'm not going to spawn them anymore, so they have to always be dead. They can't have any more than 5 alive per pig minion. I also want to mention that when it comes to the pig grinder, all the minions are tier 5 or tier 7. So 2 days ago, I uploaded a video on a sugarcane farm. Now sugarcane was actually nerfed a little bit, so instead of it selling for 3 pieces each, it's actually 2, but you can still make a sugarcane farm, and if you don't want to make one, you can make a pumpkin farm. Now, I don't have a pumpkin farm built, as you can see. I basically did this all from the sugarcane farm. From what I know, whenever you're at farming level 50, I'm pretty sure a sugarcane farm is actually better. I'm not totally sure on that, but they're either better or the exact same as a pumpkin farm. Sugarcanes can also generate you speedster armor. You get a nice little bit of cash, but no one's really going to be at farming level 50, so you can either make this or make a pumpkin farm. Pumpkin farms might obviously be nerfed at one point, but yeah, this is basically the sugarcane farm, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but you have water, 2 blocks for canes and all that. It just keeps growing. It goes up to 3 blocks tall, obviously. And this is basically it. Now, currently, this will generate you around 200,000 coins an hour, maybe 180,000 coins an hour. A pumpkin farm will do like 300k an hour until maybe that's nerfed, I'm not sure. As you can see the clip right now, this is basically me selling a bunch of paper, and that is how you get money. Now, you might be wondering, Pig, what do I use this money for? There's this neat little thing in the lobby called the Auction Master. You might have heard of it, but you can actually go to the auctions browser, go to consumables, sort it by rare, and then sort it by ending soon. This is basically where you find a bunch of enchanted grilled pork chop. Right now, there's actually a lot of cheap ones as I'm saying this. There's a dude named Chili Hand selling a lot. Obviously, you might get good deals and might get bad deals. What I've seen is that the standard price for one single enchanted grilled pork is 300,000 coins, and considering that a pumpkin farm will generate around that much per hour, it's pretty good. You can basically get 1 out of the 48 enchanted pork chop you're going to need for this thing every single hour. So theoretically, if you have a pumpkin farm always going, getting 300k an hour, you did a 48-hour grinding session, this would only take you like 2 days. Something I also want to note out is when it comes to buying multiple of them. As you can see, there's currently 3 enchanted grilled pork for 600k, so that's actually a good deal, because that means every single grilled pork chop for this is 200k. Now, something important to note, though, is that there's currently 7 bids on it. All these guys bid around 50 to 20 minutes ago, which means they're probably still online, so whenever you're going to bid, they're going to see in the chat, oh, you know, your username outbid you. This is also a good deal here, too, for 400k, but there's a ton of bids. I don't even recommend going for the ones with a lot of bids like this. You're just going to get outbid, honestly. Unless all of them are offline, the chances of you actually winning that bid is pretty low. This is actually another good deal as well. You're saving about 200k if you go for them. So the good thing about these ones here where it's like 4 for a million is that a lot of people don't have a million. They just want like 1 or 2. So you can still get the good deals, but like pay a little more. These ones are not even worth going when they end in like 2 days because they're just going to be bids on them by the time it ends. Another thing I did was trading. You all know how trading works. You send them a trade request and then you can basically get an item. They get an item. A good place to go trade at is Hub 1. Skyblock Hub 1 is good because there's a lot of people here and at least one of them is going to have an enchanted gold pork chop. So as you can see, this guy's got like 1400 health, 600 health, 800 health, 1100 health. They're all stacked. They're trying to get the best items. You're gonna probably get a trade from at least one of them. And honestly, that is basically how you get the Pigman sword. Now, I don't want to end it off there. I want to show you guys what this thing can do. So as I stated in the beginning of this video, the Pigman sword is currently the best sword in the game. It's not like the Midas sword, which has absolutely no ability and costs 50 million coins to get. No, no, no. You're gonna get about half your pork chop from this pig grinder and half your pork chop from the auction house. Maybe a different split, but close to that. What's good is that if you're just starting out Skyblock, you can still get the Pigman sword maybe in like a week and a half, because obviously you still have to build this farm. You could probably build this all in a day. So now that I've told you how to get the Pigman sword, I want to tell you why you should go for the Pigman sword. There's really only one reason. It's really good. And if you want to get every single enchant, it only takes like an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to leave a guide in the description if you want to know about that. I'm not going to cover it today. And also, you might see those little yellow numbers on the top where it says plus 20. That is from a thing called a hot potato book. So if you go to collection, farming collection, you go to potatoes. This is the hot potato book. You need a whopping 50,000 potatoes in your collection. So honestly, just ask like a friend to get it or get it off auction. This is basically the exact same cost as an enchanted grilled pork. So it's 160 enchanted potatoes, which a single potato that's enchanted is 160 potatoes. So basically the same. Obviously, you only need 1 and not 48. What it's going to do for the sword, it's going to give you a whopping plus 2 damage and plus 2 strength, but you can use it up to 10 times. It took me about a few hours to get this thing with my sugarcane farm, so I recommend doing it if you want to just get the best sword you possibly can. Another thing you can do if you want to deal more damage is you want to do a thing called talisman spamming, or you basically just reforge a talisman. Now, out of all these talisman reforges, one of them is called Itchy. This one is basically for damage. You get more strength, you get more crit damage, and a higher crit chance, so if you have an uncommon one, that's a whopping plus 7% crit damage. That is actually quite a bit. And that's only for uncommon, so normal commons are going to be plus 3, but they add up pretty quickly. And also at the date this video is coming out, the end should be out, so you can also go for an ender artifact, which is like epic or something like that. So now that I've told you guys how good the sword is and how to get it, I'm going to show you guys how much damage it actually does. So the first thing I want to test is its ability. So as you can see, it's called Burning Souls. You form vortexes of flame, giving you resistance 1, and attacking nearby enemies with projectiles, dealing up to 1,000 damage over 5 seconds if it lands. So as you can see, I have 2 zombies next to me. Right click, it landed on both of them, and it's kind of like a poison effect in a way. Here we have 2 more. Right click, it's just going to kill them all really quickly. So as you can see, we have 2 skeletons. Right click, it's going to hit this guy, and dead. Oh, it also hit that one too, so it's actually kind of like a big radius. So the next thing I want to test is how much damage it'll do. So if I click on this zombies, it did 9,382 health. Bam, another 9,000 HP. Dead. And 11,000 damage on a crit. Bam, 3,000 damage. That's like a normal hit, but most of the time you're going to be getting crits anyways. Now, before I actually applied the hot potato bucks, it would do like 7,000 damage max, so I highly recommend going for hot potato bucks. In the long run, it's going to help you a lot, and it only takes like a few hours to get 10 of them applied. 9,000 damage. It's just so satisfying seeing big numbers. Now, if you watched any videos before and it's like, oh, they were doing 16,000 damage. The reason I don't do that much is because they nerfed enchants. Bam, you can just go like that. So you have like a hotkey setup, bam. Or you go in, do the ability, dead. There you go. If you're wondering why like some hits are 9,000, some are 10,000, that is because they're a thing called a bonus crit. I have a chance of getting a bonus crit by 12%. I'm assuming that's of me getting a crit. Also, make sure you unbind your drop keys. You don't want to accidentally drop your sword in lava like I once did with my bone helmet. So I want to test if this ability stacks real quick. So here we go. Double click. And yeah, it does not stack. I literally used it 3 times there. So the next thing I want to do is go to the event master, do a few 1v1s. Alright, we're going to demonstrate the power of this Pigman sword. Here we go. So as you can see, line up. No, we're gonna line up, guys. Everyone line up here. Of course, Chip is going for me. No, you cannot. Got one-tapped. So as you can see, I can basically one-tap everyone. Dead. Dead. Obviously, if they have a bone helmet, which basically everyone does, they're gonna die. Just one-tapping them all. I want to one-tap you. How can I? There you go. I've got him. All right, here's the next demonstration. If I go here, you're gonna get one-tapped as soon as I break your bone helmet. Come on. There you go. One-tap there, and I won the event, which basically means I one-tapped them. All right, I want to test out the Blazing Fortress because there's an enchant called Cubism, which is more damage to cube mobs. Here's a Wither Skeleton, of course, a 9,000 damage. The standard, kind of low. Here we have a Magma Cube, 10,000 damage. That's might be an extra crit. Okay, those are like base crits, basically. So, like, a base crit on a Magma Cube is 10k damage, and I'm assuming that's what it'll be on the Magma Boss. Let's see if we can get, like, a really good crit on one of these. So, how much will that do? 12,000 damage. Oh, God, that's a lot. 12,000 damage. Oh, that is nice. Alright, let's use the ability on these guys. That should hopefully work. Oh, okay. Some of the times, they don't count as enemies. Like, if I right-click here, it says no enemies in range, but it's literally right there. So that is basically the Pigman Sword. It's how you get it. It's what it can do. It's not like the 16k crits you could possibly get before the update, but it's still really strong, and you'll basically one-tap everything. I just think it's pretty cool because I'm the first player with YouTube rank to actually unlock the sword and, like, craft it, not just borrow it like RKY did. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you guys end up getting the Pigman Sword or, you know, grinding to it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're almost at 50k subs. If we hit 50k subs in 3 days, I will give away this Pigman Sword. That's not a joke. That is a joke.